Hi guys, I'm Tracy. Thank you for joining me today. So today's video is going to be a combination of going over the Hakuhodo website, and for those of you that are kind of new to Fude, I'm going to explain the different lines that they have, because Hakuhodo has a very expansive array of brushes. I think they have hundreds. So if you're kind of getting started off, it could be very overwhelming. So I'm going to go over the different series, and they have a lot of series. But at the end, I'm going to do my wish list. I already have it set up, and then try to figure out which ones I am going to purchase in my next order. So the reason I'm doing so, actually, one of my subscribers, Judy, asked if I can do kind of like a wish list video at some point. And I've been thinking about it for a while. I didn't know if anyone would be interested in it. But I have been thinking of doing kind of like a Hakuhodo, I guess, explanation, a guide, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to very briefly go over the different series and give you some of my opinions on the different types of brushes that they have. So one of the reasons Hakuhodo is I say top one or two favorite companies to order from. First of all, they have everything, and also their service is very good. I get my package sometimes the day after, and I also am close to their US web wholesale. I am close to their warehouse, so I get their brushes really quickly. But I just love the fact that they have any kind of brush that you could ask for. So let's get started. The S100 series is their top of the line premier brushes. They come with this really beautiful vermilion handle, and it has this little slanted edge at the end. And these are probably the most expensive brushes they have. If you want to treat yourself and get yourself something really fancy, there's a lot of brushes here that you can treat yourself with. I don't have anything from that series, but I do have a couple from the S100 BK series. So the S100 BK is the same style brushes in their S100, except that these are with black handles, so they're a little less expensive, but they still have the gold plated ferrule. And there's a pretty decent amount of brushes here, and some of the brushes in this line you won't find anywhere else. For example, this one, S5523, it's made out of horse and goat hair, so it's just such a beautiful brush. I don't use it just because I prefer the regular J5523. But some of these mixes you could only find, as far as I know, you can only find at Hakuhodo. If someone else knows other brands that do like a blue squirrel goat mixed brushes, let me know. But so far, some of these mixes are fairly hard to find in other brands, and Hakuhodo has a lot of them. So that is the S100 Black series, and then the Kokuton series. This is another very high-end line, really high quality blue squirrel hair. Most of them are blue squirrels. I guess some of them are goat hair and mixes. And this is a very one of their signature lines. It kind of reminds me of the Hakuhodo Z series, except I think some of these are even more expensive. But I don't have any from the Kokuton series. I can't really recommend them, but I'm sure anything from this line is going to be very amazing. And I'm going to skip around. I'm not going to go through every little thing. The basic series is just Hakuhodo's collection of brushes that they feel are essential, and some of their top selling brushes. For example, this the B110, and you can see here this top row. This is some of their most popular brushes that they carry. And so they're called a J125 and they say B125, but they're the same exact brush. So I don't usually go into the basic series. I do, however, look at the G series a lot, and I feel like this is the brand, this is the line that I have the most of. And they have, this is the line that they have this mix of goat hair and blue squirrel. Like this is one that I have on my wish list. And they have all sorts of brushes, you know, foundation brushes, eye brushes, and it's a good place to look if you want, for example, let's say you have the J5529 and you want to find that brush with squirrel hair. I don't know where it is, but it's here somewhere. So that's kind of what you can expect from the G series. What was I talking about here? Like this one, like if I think this is on my wish list, it should be. Okay, so like this one is a J series brush, but they also have a G series, and it's just made out of different hairs. And then the I series, so there's two I series, the capital I and the small I. I really like how they separated the small I series. These are their very popular kind of standard brushes that they make in synthetic hair. So both the I series are all synthetic hairs. So if you're looking to not buy natural hair, then these are the lines that you'll find, the synthetic brushes. And I know I've not bought anything from this line yet, but I do plan on it this time. I really want to get an idea. I've heard so many great things about this line that I really want to get an idea of what they're like, and they're a little cheaper. So this is one that I have my eye on, the 5523 in synthetic hairs. And then let's see, keep going. The J series is their, I think their largest series. They have all sorts of styles. Most of them are undyed goat hair, and this is where you'll find brushes that tend to be a little less expensive, but not necessarily. And I mean, pretty much if you want a certain kind of brush, like an itty bitty little packing brush, you'll find one in Hakuhodo. So I'm not going to go through all of these. It's just way too many brushes. And then the K series, I don't fully understand the K series. I have one K series, I think this K022. I don't use it. They kind of have like a hodgepodge of different kind of brush, different styles, and a lot of them are blue squirrel hair and horse hair. Yeah, blue squirrel hair. I don't exactly understand how they came up with the K series. And then the 200 series is, I don't really understand this one either, but I do have a couple of their eyeshadow packing brushes that are made out of horsehair. And these are amazing. If you're going to put a Hakuhodo order in and you have not tried a brush like this, you must, because it's the best packing brush that I have. I have different companies packing brushes, but this one, I feel it gives you the strongest, most concentrated application of shimmer and glitter formulas on your eye. So, and they're not that expensive. I have them in a few sizes and I use all of them. So that's really all I get in the 200 series. And then the Japanese traditions, these are their, kind of old-fashioned brushes, that styles they had from back when Hakuhodo was making non-makeup brushes. I have two Yachio brushes, this medium tapered and medium domed, and they are nice. They do perform well, but they're hard to store because they're really light here and they're top heavy, so they kind of it's kind of hard to keep in my cup, and they tend to shed. At least mine do, and I don't know if it's just mine or it's this style of brush, but mine tend to shed, and the hairs aren't quite as silky as the other brushes, but that's okay because like this one I use for my NARS blushes because their formula is a little harder and drier, so you know it works well for a blush or powder that's kind of got hard pan. And then Kinoko and fans. Kinoko is mushroom in Japanese, so these are their like kabuki looking brushes. They're really cute, and but I don't think I'm going to get any of these. I prefer a longer handle, and I have a decent amount of brushes that kind of have this shape, the kabuki shape. And then the Kebble series, this is a really interesting line. They so the Kebble brush is what they used traditionally to make makie, which is, you know, if you look at like the Hakuhodo makie line, the way that handle is decorated, it's like they lacquer like little gold and silver platinum powder to give it the decoration. And so this is what a Kebble brush was originally used for, but now they have all of these different shapes for makeup application. And I have one, I think it's this one, the 6050. I just don't use it because I'm not sure. I never really found a good use for it, and it's in storage. I have not seen it for a while. But if you want a brush that gives a very, very light dusting of powder, then I think any one of these will do that for you. And they have these itty bitty ones, and they have these longer ones. And but I'm not going to recommend them just because the one I have is not being used. And then the Artistic Pro series, these are, I think, like nail brushes. A lot of these are for nail art, and some of them are very fine eyeliner brushes, which if I did do like gel liner, liquid liner, I would have one. I just rarely use eyeliner nowadays, so I just don't really have a use for them. But you know, if you want to get a really great brush for liquid liner, sure, any of these would be amazing. And I don't really use these much. I just go over these series that I'm interested in and kind of go from there. So here I put my wish list together, and I'm gonna really quickly fill my cart up. It's not going to be a definite answer because I really take a lot of time to think about my order, because you get charged for shipping no matter how much you order from Hakuhodo. So I want to make sure I get it right. And so this 5521 style, I've been debating whether to get it for a long time because I really do want this shape brush. It's one of their most popular styles, and this one is very popular. It comes in, I think, like 4 or 5 different types with this same shape brush head, but I just can't decide if I want the straight goat hair or the mix, because this is just such a unique brush. You know, you're not going to find another company that, at least not that I know, that will do a mix like this, a blue squirrel and goat hair in this shape. But of course, it's considerably more expensive than the straight goat hair. So I'm not sure about that, but I am going to try this 5522. This is another very popular eye blending brush. And again, this comes in a mix that I'm considering also. And I think I'm going to do this one just because it reminds me of my Wangot 16, and I love that brush for concealer, so I think that might be a suitable alternative since the one I have is always dirty. And then I think I'm definitely getting the J146 because this is I think it's somewhat like the 5529, which I use all the time, except it's got like a pointed tip. It's longer, but I have these I have a few, but I use them all the time. They're always dirty, so I could use another one. And these G5523, I almost got this last time, but I have the Wangot 6, which is almost identical in specs. and I don't really use that one much, so I'm probably not going to get that one. But this one, the Squirrel Hair 5534, is another one that I've had my eye on for a while, just so I have a little, like an itty bitty squirrel hair blending brush. But I'm not sure if I want this one or the other one. What else do we have here? And then this is the one I've been eyeing. But something else I'm considering is that if I do use this for concealer as squirrel hair, so it wouldn't be good. This would be just for eyeshadow. Just having for, you know, long, it's a pretty long, yeah, 21 millimeters. It's a pretty big blending brush for me. I definitely don't need something this substantial. So I'm gonna have to think about that a little more. And yeah, this is a part that really takes me a long time, just narrowing down. There's nothing in my cart. Narrowing down which ones to actually get is very difficult for me, because I want so many, but I don't want to be redundant. And I have at times got brushes that I just don't even use. Oh no, my cart, oh, it's full. And I never get this insurance that they kind of automatically tag along in there, because first of all, I don't like getting a signature because I'm often not there to sign for it, and I've never had any problems. Also, I live very close to their warehouse, so I'm not worried about a package getting lost or damaged. But if you feel more comfortable having insurance, then, you know, by all means get it. The cost of insurance depends on your order. So like for an order like this, it's 98 cents, about $1. So it's not that bad. But if you get into like the 100, 120, it starts going up to $2, $3, $4, $5. So, you know, you gotta consider if it's worth it for you to get the insurance. But they do require a signature for that, I believe. And I did have a problem getting it, not because of Hakuhodo, but because of the post office. It was just very hard for me to get my brushes. So that's really it. Of course I'm going to share my haul when I do get this order, but I do take a long time to really narrow down my list and figure out which brushes I think I'm going to utilize, and, you know, the brushes I really want. So I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, going over the Hakuhodo website with me. One more thing really quickly, if you guys want me to do another how I care for my natural hair brushes video, I did one a long time ago, one of my first videos ever, but I made some improvements, and I just washed these this weekend. So the Wingots 2 and the Designer Pro, and just look how clean they got. I mean, I didn't do anything like super special except use the Olaplex shampoo, and then I dry them upside down. But I just feel like the way I've been caring for them, they just like look new. And I've had these for a while, and I use them a lot, especially this one. I've been using it almost every day for years, and it's in such wonderful condition. And I really do think it's that Olaplex shampoo that's keeping them so soft and, you know, preventing the bristles from like breaking or anything. But that's how I do my brush washing. Everyone, you know, some people have different preferences. They want to buy a shampoo that's specifically for cleaning makeup brushes, but it's not necessary. You can get like the Olaplex shampoo, or even I have this black African black soap bar. It works great. It just doesn't condition the hairs as well. But either way, those two things that I use clean your brushes very well and keep them in good shape. So that's really it. That's all I had for today. And thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.